Hi everyone, this is Professor Philip Travis, and we're in Rome, and we're in the Roman Coliseum, the famous Roman Coliseum, which was completed, or at least begun, during the period of the Emperor Vespasian, one of the Flavian emperors. It was completed in 80 A.D., and we're on the inside of this Coliseum. The Coliseum, which behind me, which I'm not sure you can tell from the angle, it's very difficult to get a good shot in here. There's so many people. But behind me, we're on the ground floor, and behind us is where the floor would have been. And where the floor would have been, you can see it looks like a honeycomb, but if you get closer to it, you can see that this is where all the animals, all the gladiators would have been held for the games. And this would have been covered by a floor, and there would have been almost like secret entrances, if you will, that the fighters and the animals could come up through. The gladiatorial games were in many ways political events. They were, on many cases, they were open to the public for free, and the Romans used these games to, in many cases, reenact important historical events. The Punic Wars, for example, great events, great battles, great from a Roman perspective, of course. But of course, they were typically, almost always, games to the death. And thousands of people and thousands of animals died here. In some cases, as many as 10,000 animals were brought to one event at the Coliseum and were slaughtered. The remains of which oftentimes were used to feed the population. But the Romans were highly destructive in this respect, and this conduct actually led to the extinction of a number of large mammals, actually, as the Romans sought to act out their narratives, and as they sought to engage between political aristocrats and the population here at these events in the Roman Coliseum here in the heart of Rome.